Hey, Chin Chin, join me for a cup. So, let's take a look at a map. This is Nepal. What it lacks in gross domestic produce, it has the 165th smallest GDP globally. It makes up for by being home to very freaking big mountains. Most famously, Mount Everest, and 7 of the world's peaks above 8,000 meters. Now, imagine you wanted to visit Nepal and do some good. You lived in the UK, so you'd have to get on a plane at Heathrow Airport, outside London, and fly to somewhere like Doha in Qatar, probably for about 6 or 7 hours. From there, you'd fly another 4 or 5 hours to Nepal's capital city of Kathmandu. So imagine from there, the next day, you took an internal flight to Nepal-Gunj Airport, kind of over here. And the day after that, another flight to Jufal, where the plane lands at Dolpa Airport on a sand strip. You've landed at about 2,900 meters or 9,500 odd feet in old money. And immediately you feel like you're not in Kansas anymore. So you start walking. You trek from there to the village of Dunai, where you spend the night thanking your lucky stars that your feet on solid ground before trekking to Tarakot the next day. Following day, you make your way from Tarakot to Musakoli, and the day after that to Kagot at an altitude of about 3,400 meters or 11,100 feet, where you find a school of 80 kids. You deliver computers and satellite equipment to the kids and spend 2 weeks with them, setting up the equipment and setting the kids and their teachers up for success, teaching them how to use the internet to access knowledge and engage with people outside of the remote valley where they live. Ultimately, you provide them with so much we take for granted. You provide access to knowledge that can change their lives for the better forever. You provide access to opportunities they never had and are desperate to get. Well, if we're successful with this project, that's exactly what we'll do. I'm joining the ITHQ Techspedition to Nepal in September 2024, where we're hoping to take potentially life-changing technology and internet access to the Tenzing Norgay School in Kagot, one of the remotest high-altitude schools in Nepal. But there's a catch, of course. It's a logistically complex operation, which makes it an expensive undertaking. Not only because of the cost of the equipment, but the number of folks required to make this happen, whilst we take a month out of our businesses, ITHQ and Struto, to make this happen. Question: how do you raise money for a good cause like this? Answer: well, do something crazy to draw attention to it. Hopefully, if it's crazy enough, people get behind you, help you achieve your goals by donating money or sponsoring the trip. And that's when adventureaholic Neil Lawton comes in. This project was originally Neil's brainchild, and he'll lead the expedition to Kagot to deliver computers and satellite equipment to the Tenzing Norgay School. And then we'll do one more thing. Neil will also lead a group of us on to try and set a new Guinness World Record. The record for the world's highest bicycle ride currently stands at about 7,200 meters or 23,658 foot. And we want to break that record. There are only about 1.2 million mountains on the planet. And fortunately, the biggest are in Nepal. And the 95th highest mountain in the world is a short trek from Kagot. Meet Pudahinchuli. It squeaks into the world's 100 highest mountains at number 95 and stands at 7,246 meters or 23,773 foot. We'll load up yaks with our gear and mountain bikes, and with the help of the local Sherpa team, trek to Panzi Base Camp at the foot of Pudahinchuli at about 4,500 meters. And then we'll make our way up to the main Pudahinchuli Base Camp at 4,900 meters or 16,076 feet. From there, we'll carry the 15-kilo bikes up the mountain on our backs. Each of us is required to carry our own bike, but luckily we'll have the support of a dedicated Sherpa who will carry our life-supporting gear. We'll do another 5 or 6 days of rotation climbs and acclimatization, essentially where you climb high and sleep low to build up red blood cells in your body so that you better cope with extreme altitude and lack of oxygen. These rotations are expected to be very hard. On or around the 20th of September 2024, weather permitting, we'll push for the summit of Pudahinchuli with the bikes on our backs, and again, this is expected to be bloody hard. We'll each burn 12 to 15,000 calories on this push alone. If we're successful, we'll get on our bikes at the summit and begin to ride/plummet our way down the mountain. a trip that's estimated to take at least another 5 hours of descent. So this will be the hardest thing I've ever done physically. Just to put this into perspective, I rode 275 kilometers, or about 170 miles, on a road bike over some Welsh mountains, through some lovely valleys in a single day in June this year. And I managed to burn about 9,000 calories. This is much harder. I remember when I climbed Kilimanjaro at a height of 5,985 meters 12 years ago, I lost about 5 kilos in 11 days. And this is much, much harder. Let's just think about it. It's 5 flights. It's at least 4 days trekking at altitude to get to the school. It's another 2 days of trekking at even higher altitude to get to base camp. It's 5 days rotation climbing and lugging a mountain bike on our backs up the 95th highest mountain in the world. It's 1 mad day trying to push to the summit with a bike on our backs and get down the mountain on the same said bloody bike. And then you have to get home. All in all, it adds up to a 1-month-long crazy adventure where hopefully we get to positively impact people's lives forever. So I hope you find what we're trying to achieve to be a worthy cause. Please help us get computer equipment, satellite equipment, and tuition to the 80 kids and their teachers at the Tenzing Norgay School by donating to the ITHQ Texpedition. You'll find a URL about here. If you're a business and would like to sponsor us, please get in touch with me directly. Otherwise, just come along for the ride. I'm going to release regular training diaries on YouTube and all the usual social channels as I take on a series of challenges, starting with the Goodwood Half Marathon in December, moving on to mountaineering training in January, probably in the Scottish Highlands, Cape Cycle Tour in March 2024, and the Manchester Marathon in April 2024. I'm going to round all that up with an epic 100k training run around July, August next year, before heading off to the Himalayas the beginning of September 2024. More details can be found below. Thank you very much. I remember when I climbed Kilimanjaro, a height of 5,985 meters 12 years ago, I lost 12 kilos. No, I didn't. I lost 5. 12 kilos, I'd be emaciated.
In 2 days.
In 2 days. I lost 12 kilos in 2 days, you peasant.
By my Cuppa.
Yeah. Have you tried Herbalife?